Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Hey, Patina, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you? Always good to see you.
Yeah, we love our rock.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
they give
thank
the
you.
best lines. It's like if you didn't tell them, they know.
Yeah.
No one is more fierce than Rock. So like, what are we getting this season? She's gonna be more softened up because she's got some animosity within her family.
I think she'll be soft when she has to be. I think, depending on the situation, I think you'll be able to see her navigating many different feelings. She's in a varied state, right? Like at the end of season 2 where we left off, everything has changed that quickly for her. And you're gonna watch her sit with some things. You will watch her be a little soft in certain parts of her personal life, but then the tension is always there and there is always some drama. So she's not like she's gonna stay out of it for too long. So we'll hopefully we get to navigate and see like what ensues this season with her.
It's funny. You're saying it right. Like, okay, at the end of season 2, she's looking like she's lost a little bit of her mojo. She's vulnerable. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
It's a matter of time before she gets back into her place and get back on the saddle, girl. We don't need you
right,
to
right.
soften up.
But
We
she
don't
don't
need you
stay
to soften
down.
up. You
No,
know?
no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I think seeing some softness is a great thing. You've watched a character have it all together for really 2 seasons. You've watched her in this position. I think it's just another layer to her. I think it's real, it's honest, and I don't think there's anything wrong with softness shouldn't be a bad thing. I think it's just another added layer to who she is, and it is what makes her universal. As a woman in this business, we're not taught in that business being soft is a bad thing, but she's many different things. She's ruthless, soft, dark, crazy, manipulative, all of the things, and that's a dangerous woman.
And this show is full of a great cast. When I think back, you're probably the one who's interacted with almost everyone on the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
including, Tony Danza, Michael Rispoli, all of them, all these people that come in that's new, like, oh
Oh
no,
yeah.
they got to have a scene with you, you
And
know?
I feel so blessed to have had moments to be with some incredible people on the show. I love acting. I love actors who want to come and play. My favorite thing is being able to like jump into scene work and figure out like how we can make it better, right? And I have the pleasure of working with actors who really care about the world we've created, care about growing. They care about, doing things differently, right? Not being stuck in a stereotype. Like we play against stereotypes in this show, and that's what I really love. And what I feel blessed that like the viewers on Friday get to see a new interpretation, a different interpretation of these characters that they have now grown, hopefully to love and hate.
Before I let you go, obviously, this is the third season going in. What have you learned as an actress, as you continue to work with different directors, the same co stars, new co stars, that helps your skill set moving forward?
I have always, luckily, I always say about me, I'm always a student, always a student. I'm always wanting to learn. I never feel like I have it all figured out. There's always something to be learned from others. And I take that in every experience, whether it's on stage, on TV, who I talk to, who I put in my orbit, different directors. At the end of the day, it starts with communication and being able to communicate what you want, what your dream is for your character, what the world is, and not being afraid to speak up for yourself when something doesn't feel right. If the motivation feels a little bit weird, owning myself and owning my truth to be able to stand in that and say, you know what, I think this, and this, and having artists that want to collaborate. I think it makes for great work. It makes me a better actor to have directors that want to collaborate with you instead of tell you what to do. Having writers who write to your voice and who always keep in mind that you're the type of actor who likes to go many different ways and like do different things. And playing three-dimensional characters in this kind of world is not something we don't really see that often, but I'm really proud that this world that we've created, you get to see fully fleshed out characters.
It's a credit to the writers, to the showrunners, to the directors,
100%.
to the
One
performances. So
team
congrats
effort,
on season
man.
3. We know season 4 is coming up down the road. Let's hope you make it out. We want to
Hey,
see you
we'll
again.
see.
You
It
know,
is
hey,
power.
we can't go out this way. You know, not early. We want to continue. So I'll
Right.
see you soon. Take
Yes, you
care.
will. Take care, Wilson. Bye.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. What's up, folks?
What up?
How you
What up? What up?
doing?
Good to see you, Mr. Morales.
Hey, so what are we getting from Kanan and Famous this time around? I always feel like these are they on the same page, or at some point one is going to distrust the other because that's how these shows are, you know. So MeKai, what are we looking forward to?
You looking for two best friends to continue to be two best friends. You know, two people that are growing individually, and just figuring out again how they, I guess, complement each other. Um, you just it's the same beauty and brotherhood that you see with like Tommy and Ghost in the original Power. Is, you know, no matter how much they grow, you know, apart in certain ways, they will always have each other's back and they'll always love each other.
Mhm. What about you, Famous? You know, are you going to still rhyme, or are you just going to get back? You just going to get in the game and try to work with Kanan?
No, I think obviously without giving any spoilers away, I think my world gets shaken up a little bit because I start to realize like what everybody gets to a certain point in their life when they realize what they are capable of and what they're quote unquote built for and what they're not able to do, you know? And I think this season that's more or less what my character is going to go through is realizing what I'm 150% behind supporting and what I am 150% running away from. So that's more or less what you're going to see from my character.
Speaking about running away, you know, Kanan's going through a lot, you know, obviously these last two seasons, learning more about himself, more about his family, who he can trust or not. That's why he's got his boy, you know, and Jukebox. Those are the only true family members he knows he can talk to without having to worry about them. You know, what are we looking forward to Kanan and his family? You know, is there gonna be unity at some point, or they're still, you know, we got to get through some things?
All families got to get through some things. So, you know, that's where you find everybody throughout the season. You know, everybody is trying to figure out who they are and what's next uh, in this, you know, kind of new face of what's happening with them. That's it. You know, everybody's trying to figure out who they are and what they're doing.
No,
You've
definitely.
now had you've now had three seasons, and obviously we got the news that there is a season four. So hopefully, you know, we didn't see no names on there, but I'm assuming you're going to be back for it. So in the shows you've done so far, how much have you learned and grown throughout this show? Whether it's working with co-stars and directors and with Sascha, Antonio.
uh, yeah, go
Uh,
ahead.
I've learned quite a bit. And what's crazy is I've been acting since we've both been acting since very young. I've been acting since I was 3 and I've never seen that as like I've never been egotistical about that. I've never felt like I had a leg up because of that. I never felt like I knew more about acting because I've been doing it for longer. So I always I always try to pick up any jewels that I can along the way. And I feel like with who's in the office and with who's in the cast, I've been able to learn so much, not just about acting, but about life in general, that it's helped my character grow, it's helped my craft grow, and it's helped me grow as a person.
Okay.
It's an endless well, you know, like being around Patina Miller, Omar Epps, Tony Danzas, and like things like that. Just to work with people of such prestige, people that, you know, do this craft and have been doing it at such a high level for so long, and they care about it enough to, like he said, just give us the jewels and pour the gems when they can. They see that we have the capacity to take it on, and they kind of challenge us in those ways. So it's a big ass blessing as a person, as an artist, as a performer. To yeah, yeah, it's indescribable, man, for real.
Definitely.
Hey, congrats on this season. Obviously, we now know there's a season four. Don't die. Keep it going. Or we'll talk down the road. See you down the road. Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Here we are, season three. You guys are back again. You're able to talk. London, what are we getting from your character this year? Is he reformed? Is he still going to be menacing?
Is this being shown after the first episode or before?
Before.
Oh, okay. Well, for my character, we don't know yet if he survives. That's the biggest thing. We know that at the end of season 2, he got injured. So to your question, I think the audience can expect some suspense. We'll find out.
I mean, we don't know he survives. You're a family. They ain't killing you off that early.
Hey,
this show is not going to kill you off that early. You got 9 lives. You say?
Hey, I'll believe in that. I'll take that faith.
What about you, Hailey? We know, you ain't got no drama. We know, if anything, you're the one that's going to last to the end.
I hope so.
But there's no hope so, because we know what she grows up to be. You know what I'm saying?
No way. Yeah, I'm excited for people to see. Oh, where it was before the episode. I think there's a really big shift that happens for her energy-wise, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Mm-hmm. And then there's, Marvin, he's conflicted. You never know. He's one foot in with the family, the other foot in, he wants to go on his own. At this point in time, is there going to be unity where everybody, where it's strength and unity, or is he going to go off on his own?
Is it Marvin or me?
I think,
yeah.
Lou-Lou.
I'm talking about Lou-Lou.
I was like, Marvin leaving? No. No. Definitely with me, there is that sense of, am I going to stick with the family or not? I don't think I think part of the trauma with my character is that he'll never really abandon his family. He can't do it. He can't even separate in a healthy way. So I don't know if he's going to dip, but I don't know if he's going to be healthy staying. You know what I mean?
Do you guys ever get invested in the characters you're playing? With this show, everybody watches it. They don't wait till Sunday. People wait. They get it on the Fire Stick. I see people watching it on the train stations. Malcolm, you and I were at Essence when somebody came up to you and they're like, "Yo, I love the show. Don't die on me."
Right, it's my fault.
It's like people are invested. They don't want to see you go. At some point or another, like. Or is it like when you guys finish your episodes, you guys get to go home, relax, be yourselves without having to worry about, okay, I got to co-switch to this character when I'm on the streets. London?
For me, I definitely try to leave Marvin at home because Marvin already has a lot of stuff, and London has a lot of stuff. So I got enough life stuff to be trying to bring no extra stuff in. So I try to leave it at work, man.
What about you, Malcolm?
You was with me. I try to be cordial and let the fans have their, and I don't even want to say the fans because it sounds like there's a separation between like a human being and some other thing. It's like we excited about the thing. They're probably more excited about the thing because they don't have to go home and cry after. So they're like, all they get is I got to consume and enjoy this thing, and you don't want to take that away from somebody. It's like ruining Santa Claus. Like, I'm not finna sit here and try and ruin your Santa Claus, as long as you being respectful and cool. So I delight in the fact that people are enjoying the work. It is a little difficult for me to get invested in the character outside of just a piece of work. Because if I'm over here fanning over the character like everybody else fanning over the character, it's gonna suck when it's time for the character to go through it or for him not to be here anymore. And I just want to be able to appreciate the experience, appreciate the people, appreciate the story, appreciate my contribution, but not be so like, man, I'm Lou-Lou. Like, no, that's crazy. Like, I can't. I'd rather be like that. That character is a good character instead of the fandom.
Yep. Hailey, this summer you had a movie with Penn, and all people talked about on media was like, well, that's Jukebox. They don't even know you by your real name anymore. Anything you wear, they just say it's Jukebox. She got a new series. I'm like, what? It's a movie, folks. What can you say, Hailey, in terms of taking this character when you're done filming your episodes and so forth? Can you walk away from the character for a time being so you can do other projects or just live your life?
Oh yeah, I really, it's funny because I wrapped my last scene on a Friday and then shot my first scene for Cinnamon on the following Monday. And I was really, really scared about like making sure that I wasn't Jukebox, that Jody and Jukebox were two different, I love both J names, but like making sure they were two different people. One, I have a really great therapist. So if I'm feeling too sad, Justin's like, snap out of it. But yeah, I try. I'm not. The thing is, I don't think people realize I'm probably the complete opposite of my character. So it's actually harder to like really get like super locked in for a long period of time than it is to step out of it.
Mm-hmm. When you look at this show and people are such fanatics, how have you grown in the seasons and the episodes you filmed already? Because there's always new directors, obviously writers. You've got new cast members coming onto the show. You're continuing to learn from each other. What would you say has grown or has evolved as far as your skill set as an actor? London?
I definitely felt the stretch for me and the challenge, because the comedic stuff is easy to go to, but it's the other stuff that I really feel the quieter scenes. I like I like any scene that's like me and just another person, where it's not a gun, it's not food, it's not car crashes, and it's just good sit talks, like Marvin and I can't go into all of that, but Marvin had these one-on-one conversations with the rest of his family. And so those things I always appreciate, the more quieter moments. And that's where I get to feel where my work is if I ain't got no gimmicks, it's just
straight raw.
Moment chops for chops. And that's always, because each actor gives you something. So it's like, nobody wants to show up short to the parties. I'm like, we got tears, we got anger, we got presents, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So the one-on-one stuff lets me know, okay, cool, I got through that day, and I look forward to that.
What about you, Malcolm? You've been on different series, you've done films, but you continue to grow. What part of your skill set as an actor are you continuing to grow that maybe you didn't notice, but as you continue to work with these actors, you're learning something new?
Well, I think we're all 4 to 5 years older at this point, so we're like literally growing and developing. Hailey just recently said in the other interview that she went from 21 to almost 25. She turned 21 with us, and now she's going to be turning a quarter of a century with us. And we as old folk, we think, oh, those years flatten to us. But when you're actively engaged with two young people watching the development, and for me, I had a lot of family dynamics change and shift. So going from I turned 30 on the show. She turned 21, I turned 30. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I'm on the verge of being 35 in the next 2 years. So it's this interesting thing where it's transformative years, and that to watch how that informs your work is interesting. And we didn't have the luxury of being like off the show and the show's airing. We shooting the show while the show's airing. So we're watching in live time something we did a year ago, right? And still trying to analyze game tape, which has been difficult, actually. That's been the most difficult thing, is like having to learn how to build off of something that you can't go tangibly rewatch. You can't do no game tape. The game tape comes out while you in the next season. And that's been my work. Like, man, I can't go see what I did. I have to literally recall it and keep the essence of it. That's been hard. So that's been the hardest thing, I think, for me, as far as growing.
And Hailey, you want to finish it up?
Yeah, I think Malcolm said it beautifully, but it's just like experiencing life and growing your skill set. I just love watching everybody. Like, I'll come to set and I'll watch. Well, if people are okay with me coming and watching their scenes, like I watch Patina like a hawk. I'm just like every nuance, and even watching how I've never seen any other actor. Patina comes in and like commands the room, even when you're rehearsing the scene before you start shooting. Just watching little things like that have really informed my performance in a number of things, and this is a great group to learn from.
Hey, congrats on this season. Obviously, the word went out. There is a season 4. I like to think, because you guys are family, with a last name, with this family, you guys are going to stick around. Don't shock me. You know what I'm saying? And so let's keep it going. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. What's up, Joey? What's going on?
Good, Wilson. How you doing?
I remember last season when you came out and you saved, her, and you come out and people just like, yeah, Southside. People were clapping at the end. It should have been in the movie theaters. Talk to me about Unique coming season 3. What are we getting?
Man, season 3, we can expect new things from Unique. You know, I feel like people are gonna see a new side of him with things heating up between him and Rock, and with his brother coming home. I think it unlocks a new vulnerable side that we haven't seen of him thus far. And
The minute that
ultimately is another layer.
when they announced that you were going to have a brother in the show, they were like, oh, okay, they keeping Joey on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have family, you're very easy to leave. But when there's a family on the show, like, okay, he's going to be in more scenes, more episodes. As an actor, I always tell everybody, whether you're an actor or director, you can never stop learning. Since you've been on the show, obviously you've interacted with directors and other actors. How have you learned or grown working on this show as an actor?
And I mean, it's so easy to learn because it's such a safe space for asking questions and people being readily available to want to share information. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's such a great community from the actors. Like, we have Patina Miller, from MeKai to Malcolm to OG like Omar. London is a lot of people who've been doing it for much longer than I have been. And, I'm a firm believer in surrounding yourself with people who are better than you because, once you have that drive and that passion, all that does is lift you up. And I feel like this whole community has lifted me up in tremendous ways that I'm just ultimately grateful for.
When we look at Unique, every time he's on scene, he's always got this wardrobe that people like to see because it's the 90s. How much of a hand do you have in the wardrobe that Unique is wearing?
Well, I got to give the credit all to our head of wardrobe, which is Sige. She does an incredible job at putting these looks together. I mean, the most that I do is just, if she's making the meat and potatoes, I'm just seasoning up a little bit, that's it.
Joey, it's always great to see you back. I always say, hey, Joey got 9 lives somewhere along the line. We thought he was going to go out at some point, but now you have our brother on there. He's on there for at least a couple of more episodes. We haven't seen all of it yet, but just keep it going. We like where you're going.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's keep praying.
Let's hope. I'm going to check that press release on season 4. If his name is not included, we know.
This is true.
Have a good one.
Man. Take care, Wilson.
Wilson Morales from Black Films and TV. Hello, Mr. Danza. How's it going?
I'm well, Wilson. Thank you. Glad you fixed your audio.
You're part of a series that people love to watch. Obviously, you're playing Stefano. You're coming back. What more are we getting into this season with Stefano that he's going to be a major player in the series?
Well, I mean, he's going to involve himself in Rock's business. That's basically what ends up, and he, I think, also is finding ways to get in between people who have relationships. So he's diabolical. He really is in a lot of ways. Also tries to be a little charming at times. So it's not all one note, but it's a lot. I'll tell you something, Wilson. It's a lot of fun to play.
It's a total departure from what a lot of people know you from. What led you to take on this project, the series?
Well, I got offered. You get offered something and you have to look at it and think about it. I took a look at the show. I went. I was working with Michael Rispoli, a terrific actor as well, and I like the writing. The writing was terrific. So and then I'll be honest with you, I did the first one. And I was hooked. And I was really happy they brought me back.
This show has a great ensemble of actors, from all sorts. Obviously with some characters, you don't get to intersect with everybody, but from those who you're working with, like Michael, what's that dynamic like when you get to work with friends and you meet new people?
Well, I mean, working with Patina, working with London, working with Joey. I mean, that's who I've been working with, and these are serious people and serious actors, and it's just you really feel like you're part of a team, and we all pull together, and I just it's one of those situations you find yourself where you just feel pretty lucky. You got great writing, great directing. We got Mario Van Peebles directing this week. I mean, It's like, it's top notch. And so you got actors that work so well. You got a tremendous production. You really feel good about the production. You feel like you're there. So, I mean, if you're an actor, this is pretty good.
You've been around a long time, and I always say talent can never stop learning. When you enter a new show, and was it a film or a series, are you still learning at this point? You've been in the game. Is there anything you can still pick up from anybody you're working with, whether it's a co-director, or a director, or any of the actors you're working with?
Listen, you better be still learning. Because if you're not still learning, then you're in trouble. No, you're right. I mean, that's what's so great about this. I mean, because it's the kind of show where you can learn something, But I'll be honest with you, I was the worst student when I was a kid. I really, I wasn't interested. I hadn't figured out that in order to be interesting, you got to be interested. I got it last week. It's much better now, wasn't? But what I'm saying is that now all I want to do is be a student. All I want to do is try to learn as much as I can, and this show offers me a lot of opportunities for that.
Do you have any fishes at home?
No, I'm not an exotic fish guy in real life. I'm trying to learn all about it though. I'm working on my pH level.
When you play a character who loves fish, sooner or later somebody's going to come up to you and call you by your character name and says, "Listen, I want to buy something. Can you recommend any?" You better have an answer for them, because they're all fans of the show.
Wilson, you're right. I better work on that.
Mr. Danza, it's a pleasure talking news. It's great to see you again. Keep it up. I'm sure we'll talk down the road.
Thanks, Wilson. Take care. Good luck.
Take care. Wilson Morales, Black Women TV, the one and only Sascha. How's it going?
Good, man. How about you?
Good. I just saw the news. There is a season 4. When things are upheaval, other networks, we can rely on power, staying on course. It's like they ain't killing it. It's like you gotta go at least 6 or 7 before we start worrying.
Cross your fingers, man. Cross your fingers.
Season 3, from what I've seen, is obviously off to a great start. What goes into mapping out season 3 is who lives or dies throughout the episodes.
I mean, season 2 ends in rather dramatic fashion. So, in those first episodes that you've watched, a lot of it is about the characters finding their footing in this new sort of world, because a lot of shit happened at the end of season 2. In terms of deciding who lives or dies, that's just something that we let the story take us where it takes us. When we're in that writer's room, listen, it's power. So everyone's always on the chopping block, there's always, no one is safe. But we also want to earn that stuff too. I think it's a real mistake to just sort of, get rid of a character just for the sake of, frankly, the violence of it. We want these, whatever happens, we want it to matter. Like even in the case of, at the end of season 2, Jukebox's mom, well, that explains part of how Jukebox became Jukebox, and that's a big part of the story we're telling is, the origin stories of Kanan and Jukebox, because these are characters that the Power audience is already well aware of. So, I think as it relates to who dies and who lives, obviously I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but these are conversations that we have in great detail, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of back and forth.
Does it ever get challenging when you're bringing in new characters like Tony Danza, Wendell Pierce, and Grantham Coleman, and you're elevating Joey to a higher road more than we've seen in the previous episodes, and you still gotta give more for Patina and London and Marvin and MeKai and the rest of the cast who were there from the beginning?
Yeah, listen, it's an embarrassment of riches, right? Like we're very fortunate. And having Grantham and Wendell and Erika Woods join our cast, is just incredible. I'm a huge fan of Wendell Pierce, as I have been, for years. For years and years and years. I remember him on Get on the Bus, just thinking he was, incredible. And I was aware of him even before that. But, what's been great for us, Wilson, is that these actors, think enough of the show to join us, and there, we always have room for great actors, and we'll make room for them. And so, you know, I think the best version of what it is that we do is if you have a new character, they fit organically into the puzzle that you've created. You know, they don't feel like they're you know, like they're extraneous or whatever. They're just an organic part of the story you're telling. And I think as it relates to our new cast members, they all fit sort of seamlessly into the story we're telling.
Congrats on a season 3. Congrats on the now season 4 that we got coming up soon down the road, you know, so keep it going. Hey, it's always good to know you. It's good to see that you're still there, because sometimes, you know, with showrunners, you never know, but there's a lot of faith in you because you've done well. Take care.
Appreciate you, man. Wilson. I'll talk to you, man. Be well.